We're back with the 944 build. In the last video you saw that we finished the front engine rebuild, got the timing belt installed. Everything's running great, seems to be running great. The only thing left now before we can drive it is there is a tear, like a break in the steering rack boot. So I had to pull the wheel off and we're gonna pull the tie rod, swap the boot, and yeah, let's get it going. So let me show you what we're actually doing here. You can see right in there, if I got, let's see if I can point to it. Yeah, there we go. So there's a tear in the boot. You can see there's like a piece of boot over there and a piece of boot here, and then there's like a missing piece in the middle. We're gonna have to pull that boot completely off and replace it. That means popping the tie rod, which means getting this out and pushing that back down through. You can see I already removed the cotter pin from here. So this is what we're trying to accomplish. The very first thing we had to do is remove the wheel, obviously. And that means the Porsche 944 has these keyholes in the lug nuts. And yeah, it's an actual keyhole. And I thought I had the key to it. I thought I had this guy. But this is not it. So apparently it's some other key. But I thought, hey, why don't I just try twisting it off just to see if it comes? And surprisingly it did. And it looks to me like the internal key assembly is already missing. It's probably been drilled out by the previous owner. I have no idea how this is supposed to work, but I just put a lug wrench on it, turned it, and it just popped right off. So we got all the lugs off. Got the wheel and tire off. Pull this pin out from the, where I just showed you, from the lug, from the bolt, from the hole you see right there, right there. And so I've been trying to get this popped out, and I have been smashing this with a 3-pound sledge, just hammering it, and it will not budge. I absolutely cannot get this thing to budge. I have just been battering it. And I tried putting the nut on there and hitting it. I tried using this guy. This was useless, didn't do anything. Putting that on there and turning it down, that didn't work. So the only option I have left now is I just picked up this guy from Amazon. Just got delivered. So we're gonna try shoving this in there. It's called a pickle fork. And once we get this in there, crank it down, hopefully it pops out. So let's give this a shot. Okay, we got our $17 pickle fork. Sorry about the lighting, but we are trying to get this piece off in here. So let's give it a shot. Okay. Oh, the lighting is worse there. Let's try, oh, the lighting is a bit better there. Let's try this. Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Oh. Did it budge? What just happened? Oh. Oh. I don't trust my tablet being back there. I'm gonna move you. Oh, whoops. Let's move you. Okay. Well, let's put you back on the tripod. I feel a little safer with having my expensive tablet way over there. Okay, well, let's continue trying to get this out. This thing is stuck on there. Oh, wow. Oh. I may have to cut this off. How in the world are you supposed to get this out? Oh. It's bending the pickle fork. Look at that. How is this supposed to come out? Well, I eventually got it off. I was about to go buy a blowtorch to try and torch it off, but then I saw my neighbor, and my neighbor has a fork that is narrower than this. He said, this is a 15/16 fork, and he said it was too large. So he got one that was narrower, just narrower like this way, and just put it in there, hammered on the end of it a few times, and it just popped right off. It popped off in about 5 seconds. So yeah, that was perfect. This was actually my problem, is that this fork was too big for the application. I needed a smaller one. So yeah, so the only problem now is I've hammered on the top of it so much. I've mushroomed the top of the bolt and it won't actually slide out. But I think what I'm going to try and do probably is either cut that off or try and straighten it out, or maybe just hammer it and force it out. But either way, it's popped, and now I just have to try and slide it out. So good news. All right, so I just hammered it, a little bit of persuasion, and it popped right out. You can see, I don't know if you can see, it's pretty mushroomed at the top there and pretty destroyed. But we're gonna turn this end piece off, turn it a bunch of times. You want to count the number of turns that you make to get it off, because the new one has to go back on the same number of turns to keep the wheel alignment similar. And what we've got is this guy. So this one I picked up from Amazon. It was like 23 bucks. And it's a direct replacement. One of the reviews on it was actually from a guy that said it fit his 1983 944 perfectly. And I have a 1983 944, so I'm hoping it's going to fit mine perfectly. So there we go. We're just going to fit this one, take the old one off. Okay. What do I want to do first? Okay, first thing I want to do is, will this just literally just turn? No. So it wants to turn the whole rod, and I just want to turn the end piece. So I'm going to get a wrench and loosen it. So, shocker, I don't actually have a wrench large enough to do this, but I have a adjustable thumb wrench, and this is going to have to do. Oh, ow. Oh, I got it. Okay. So we've loosened it. And now, oh shit. How does this even work? Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, so I literally just turn it with my hand after I got the little nut. There's a little nut just right at the end of the tie rod end here. And, oh, shit. Okay. Okay, and I just want to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and a half, I guess. Okay. And here is the little nut I was talking about. It was just on the end there. So I got this out. You can see it's pretty bent. The grease exploded out of it when I hit it with the pickle fork. So this one obviously is done. But okay, yeah, let's install the new one. Ta-da! So this one still just screws right onto the end. And instead of using what do we got here? Instead of using a castle nut with a pin, it uses just a lock nut. So that's much better. Oh, wait a minute. This doesn't make sense. So the old tie rod end had the threads on the outside, and the new one has the threads on the inside. This is male and this is female. How is that going to work? Huh. So we got our tie rod end out, just like I mentioned, with some help from our neighbor. And I also found out that this is the old one that we just took off. That's destroyed. And this is the new one. Though you might notice that this is male threaded end, this is female. So we did purchase the wrong one. Thankfully, it was only about $20, so that's no big deal. I did get this one from Amazon, and I was hoping that it would just work for now. But I did have to call Porsche and order a new one from Germany, so that'll be 2 or 3 weeks to get in. And not only are these different because this one's a manual steering rack, which is what I have. This is for a power steering rack, that's why these differ. But Porsche actually did a VIN split where in the middle of a model year by VIN, it changes which tie rod end you need. So I had to order the correct one. So we got that ordered, that's good. And now what we need to focus on is getting that steering rack boot out. So we had to pull that off, get it off the tie rod here, and put a new one on. So let's do that. All right, so obviously here is our split. This boot should be covering all this. And we're just gonna pull this one off and see if we can replace it. So let's get this one off of here. I don't even know how this is supposed to come off. Okay. 1/2 out, easy as pie. Oh, did I get it? Oh, I did get it. Yes, I did. Oh, nice. So here is, oh wait, hang hang on. Where? Oh, here's one half. And here's the other half. And these were together. Oh, that was tough. Okay. And this should, yes, it just slides right off. Okay. Now to get out from under here. So here we are with the tie rod and the joint here that we've got to put a bunch of grease into before we cover it up. Looks like it actually doesn't have really any grease on it right now. But we have got some grease here. And that's what I got. It's GCLB rated or certified or whatever you want to call it. So this is what I'm going to use. I got a plastic bag to apply it because I don't have a rubber glove. And then we got our OEM Porsche replacement boot. It's going to go back on over it. So let's get all this stuff on there. I'm just going to put on like a really liberal helping of this stuff. Not sure you can really put too much on there. Maybe work it in there a little bit. Yeah, that seems like it's probably enough. Okay. And now, I'm going to put our boot on. Okay. Throw it on over here. Put it on over the joint. And then stretch it right up to there. I think I need to get underneath. Oh. Okay. So let's get it over this here. Get it on there. And I'm just going to use a zip tie to keep it here. It'd probably also help if I turn the steering wheel back to bring the tie rod in, but that would be too easy, I think. So I'm going to attempt to do this. So that should sit there just like that, I think. I just got a regular black zip tie, medium width, maybe large width, maybe. Pretty big one. Okay, and put that on there. This zip tie won't bring it tight enough to get it to stay. It just slides back over. After 5 weeks, I finally got the parts I ordered from Germany, so we should be able to finish the build. So what I did get was, I got the new tie rod end. This is similar to the old one that came off. Different nut that goes on top. Looks a little different, but works the same. And I got the correct steering rack boot. So you'll see here it's got the smaller opening on this end, and should go right on and should actually stay on there, unlike the other one. So let's get the old one off, or a new old one off, and let's get this one on and get the tie rod end on. Sliding on the new one. Probably goes this way. Actually, you know what? Oh no, this is definitely not the same. You can see the ends of these are totally different sizes. Old one, or well, new one, but doesn't fit. Wrong part. And this is the correct part. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Yep, all right, let's get it on. Okay, so we've got the boot on, it's here. It's pushed all the way on, and there's a zip tie on the other end holding it on. And I've greased all underneath the whole way through, or around it the whole way through, so that should be on there well now. Next we're gonna put this thing on, the tie rod end. And I believe it was, I miscounted on my last part of the video there. It was actually 15.5 turns when I went back and watched it again to get it back on. So we will, let's, actually I did that wrong. Let's put this down farther. We'll tighten this up once we get it on. Okay. So we'll put it facing down for half turn, and then half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Tighten up the nut here. Okay, we're good. That should keep the alignment relatively straight, I guess, kind of, sort of. And we'll put this guy back into... will we put this back into here? It's not fitting. I don't know if this would even actually... Is there a cap on here that's not supposed to be on this? Oh. Okay, well, I didn't know that. Take that off. Okay, that's better. I was like, this doesn't look long enough to go through that. Okay. It's still not, like it's too straight. It's not on an angle, which is really strange. It won't go in there like this. Maybe I need to turn the wheel back and like straighten this up. I don't know. I don't suppose this was damaged. I'm gonna turn the wheel back and just see if it's easier to put on when I suck the tie rod back in. Okay, after turning the wheel inside the car and sucking the tie rod back in, trying to fiddle with this, I realized I'm a dummy because the tie rod head actually pivots. I can pull it and it pivots all around. So that's all I really needed to do. Shove it in there. Put the nut on top. And now, oh wait, get in there. There isn't enough of the thread showing through to get the nut to grab. Okay, I just tapped it up a little bit. It got enough of the thread through to grab, so now it's on there. Whew. Okay, that should be tight enough. I do want to tighten down the nut that's on the tie rod end. Where did I put that thumb wrench? Okay. Well, it should be on there. Okay, theoretically it should be working. Well, let's turn the wheel inside and see if it turns out here. What do you know? It sure did. Okay, the only thing left now is to put the wheel back on and then inaugural drive. Well, we've got the front end back together there, the suspension, we got the wheel back on, everything should be ready to go. I did have an issue with the battery, where the battery was completely dead. It was so dead it wouldn't even take a charge. So I actually had to hook it up to my other car, charge it up a bit, and then put it on the charger, but it should have enough charge in it now to put it back in the car. So we're going to get the battery back into the car and see if we can get this started up. And oh yeah, I got my other car back from storage as well. So we're going to try and get this one out and get it started. Here we go. Key in the ignition. Clutch in. Let's go. Well, that didn't work. All right, take two. We got the C-Tech is charging up the battery. Just need to get this unhooked. Unplug it. Get this unhooked and then give it another shot. All right, second try. Here we go. Ignition. And come on. Not enough juice. Let's try charging it some more. Okay, take three. Let's see if this works. So we got the C-Tech on. I ran the recondition here, and I ran it overnight. So this only had 2 lights when I turned it on, and then it went to 3, and now it's, I guess it's at 4. These are the stages, I believe, of charging. Okay, so I don't know what 4th stage means, but it looks like it's probably charged enough if it charged overnight. So we're gonna unhook it and give it another shot. Okay, 3rd time's the charm. Here we go. Key on. Clutch in. Come on. Yeah, it worked. There we go. There we go. We got gas. got a crazy squealing sound from the front. Parking brake off. All right, let's see if we can back this thing out of here. Oh, that's a loud squeal. First drive in the Porsche 944. And we're leaving the garage. Oh, no power steering. Oh, manual steering only. Okay, well, it goes backwards. All right, well, I'm gonna take this car out and give it a drive around the block and see how it drives. This is awesome. I'll see you guys in the next video.